right here. Then the command buttons. Dialog boxes commonly include OK or cancel command buttons. Okay, OK being to to specify that you're okay with it. Okay, or you see you have said say print and all. Then at the end you obviously save that button, right? You say OK and all. Okay, so just to make sure that you give that last option of what the action you need to do. OK and cancel buttons work best in dialog boxes that allow users to set parameters for a particular command. Okay, so OK is typically defined as a default command button when dialog boxes window opens under. So property sheets and property inspectors. Okay, just now you saw, I mean, just few minutes back you saw about a property, sheets and all. The same thing only here. This is the property sheet and property inspectors. The properties of any object in a window or any document which you have created can be seen by very clearly. Okay, we right click it and we check for the property of it. Okay, can be displayed in a variety of ways. The example being that the image and name of an icon on the desktop reflect the specific properties of that particular object. Okay, as do the interface components such as toolbar, status bar, even scroll bars. So what generally how we check for property? We check for what is the size of it. Okay, we check whether it is a read-only file or you can even do modification for it. We check where do the the it is basically saved because there'll be a clear-cut path that will be specified. Okay, where you can sort of look into it. So these things, right? Property sheets, property inspectors, they basically tell all these sort of options that are there. Okay, they open up as secondary windows and they'll be showing it as all the details that are not all details, the relevant details that needs to be shown. Okay, so property sheets. Okay, again, you see all these things probably you may not be able to remember, but remember the names and try to sort of, because let's be very practical. Okay, it's highly impossible for you to remember all these things. Just remember basic things in there, the predominantly being the header part of it, then try to sort of replicate the answers for it. Okay, now what is a property sheet? The use of presenting the complex set of properties for an object. Okay, the command buttons. What are the command buttons? The command buttons will basically include OK, cancel, apply, reset, or all the other different types of buttons that will come through under. Okay, so this is a property, one of the property sheets of setting a time and even date. Okay, setting a time and date. Okay, as you can see, this is a notorious year 2001. Okay, so probably remember 2001. Okay, where you had this very biggest terrorist attack that basically happened, right? And even we even had a major earthquake happening in India. So one of the very notorious years that we had. Okay, 2001 being it. So you can see this that I'm trying to set both time and the date. Okay, and of course the time zone. So one, two, three things I'm trying to do. Then I'm saying okay. And that's what you say just in the previous slide also, that it will be having a OK button, it will be having, an apply button, cancel button, everything which you see right at the down. Okay. This is basically, the time and the date property sheet of this. Okay. Next, font. What is this? This basically replicates what you call as whatever you want to choose in terms of how you write. The first one being the font. Okay, what type of a font you want to use. The second one being, the style, whether it's regular, italic, bold, okay, bold, italic. So size, the next one being the size. What is the font color? Okay, automatic generally means that it will be going into what you call as a black color. Okay, the underlying style, whether it is thick, thin, very, very thick, okay, like that. So all these things, right? So you can see the preview also, preview being New York that is coming through. I've said it as italic, so you can see New York coming as italics, right? So this is again one of the examples for a property sheet tabs pages and all. Okay, so where do you use it? Okay, why do you use it and where do you use it? Okay, we generally use it to set a set of properties to the secondary window, that particular window. So we generally use that. Okay, so it even displays. Okay, why I've written IT? It should be it, right? Okay, So I'll be thinking about the idea and then writing it so that how it comes. Okay, now it displays the user accessible properties of an object, properties that may be viewed but not necessarily edited. Okay, so what are property pages? Okay, because we know there can be many properties for a particular object and the object's context, the categorization and grouping of properties within the sets may not be necessary, may be necessary. Okay, so use of this can be done, or to do this, we use what you call as a property page. Okay, so what is this property page? Where each set of properties is presented within the window as a separate page. What is that? Let's look into this. Okay, it basically comes through this, the various properties that will come through. What is the size you want to keep? Okay, what is the command buttons you want to keep? So is it just okay, cancel, apply, being very common property sheet transaction buttons, or is there anything else you want to keep? What is the size you can keep? Okay, so that all those things will be coming in your property pages. Okay, the next thing being property inspectors. So what is they use? They use for displaying only the most common or frequently accessed object properties. Okay, and they can be made changes dynamically. Okay, so where do you use it? You use it to figure out the most common frequently accessed properties in a property inspector. Okay, so what are the? They're displayed using the dynamic viewer or browser that reflects the properties of the current selection. A property inspector differs from a property sheet. Okay, property sheet, you're going to display everything that is relevant. Property inspector, only the most common or frequently accessed object properties. Okay. Next, we move into what you call as the message boxes. Okay. This will also come, right? Whenever you are trying to sync, I've created a file. Okay. I want to save it in a place. I'll say save. Then there'll be one message box saying a file with the same file name already exists in the same old location. Do you want to replace it? There'll be a message box and it looks similar to this one. Okay, the selected drive is not in use, check show, make sure that it is there. Okay, similar to this, a message box will come when I am trying to replicate a same data. Okay, not same data, basically same data name or same folder name. Okay, that particular location. It says no, it's already existing. Do you want to replace it or not? So when I say yes, it will be replaced. When I say no, okay, that options will be sort of, uh, it will be pending, right? You want to basically change it a different name, or, you want to change the different folder itself. Okay, or the existing location itself you need to change. Okay, so that's something that you need to keep in mind. But that the message that will come, that you call it as a message box. Okay, used for displaying a message about a particular situation or a condition. So what are the command boxes, command buttons too? The command buttons are OK, cancel, help, yes or no, stop. All those things will be coming in, or what you call as the message boxes. Okay, so they enable the title bar, close bar option only when the message includes a cancel button. See, even there also, right? You want to replace the same folder. There will be two options, yes or no. If it yes, it will be replaced. If it is no, obviously the work there will be installed there itself. You need to either change the name of that folder, or you need to change the location of that folder, or you can do one more thing. Okay, you can just cancel that operation and maybe do something else. Okay, so those operations will basically come through and all. Okay, so what is the use here? The use is message box is a secondary window that displays a message about a particular situation or a condition. Okay, the command button, generally you will be having the OK button, the the quit button or the close button or not. Typically, message boxes contain only command buttons with appropriate responses or choices of a